What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome, everyone. This is Right Body for You. I am your host and body tour guide, Donnielle. And oddly enough, right now I have, it's kind of an interesting warp going on of who I am, where I am, how I am. When I sat down to do the show, I'm like, wow, I got to do a live show last week, and it feels like I was just on A to Zen. And then I went, oh, yes, I was just on A to Zen. I was on Joy of Living with Lale from Monday. So check that show out. Lale Hancock interviewed me, and we had a great time. So check that out. It's fun. And, time is an interesting thing, folks. If you ever desire to have proof, because, we're all about proof. Just kidding, we're not all about proof. But if you ever feel like time is real, do radio. Because you're sitting there talking, da-da-da-da, and I have 10 minutes till the show starts, da-da-da-da-da. And then your producer's telling you to call in because it starts in 2 minutes. And you're like, but no, it was just 10 minutes ago, a second ago. So just a little, off the top of my head, just shows you that these shows are not scripted. Someone's laughing at me or with me. Yes, so these shows are not scripted. I occasionally make notes, and then I tend to ignore them. So today we were actually talking about back. Here comes the section. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't checked out the Facebook page, radio page, or even on A2Zen.fm, the little graphic that Christine found for this, it's awesome. It's of a duck putting his head in the water with his little butt up. Oh my gosh, it's... Christine, you do realize I can hear you laughing, right?
Oh my God.
That's my radio for you, folks. Christine's contribution to our world is her fun and laughter. So cool. So check out the graphic because it's so cute. You have this little furry butt sticking up, and it's called Duck. Here comes a projection. And so, it's a very serious subject we're talking about today, about projections and can they harm your body? And the short answer is yes, but, and remember those of you with words and languaging, but negates everything that comes before it. It's, yes, they can hurt your body, only if you allow it, okay? So what do I mean? What the heck do I mean by that? Only if I allow it. Well, the good news is we're going to spend the entire hour talking about that, with a little laughter thrown in. Okay, so what am I talking about projections, okay? It's those things, it's the obvious ones. It's the ones where you go, that people go, she is such a bitch, or that person is too much, or you're being mean, or even things like, oh, you're so nice, or you're fat, you're ugly, you're gorgeous, oh my gosh, okay? Those are all projections, okay? But also kind of the projections that we really want to be aware of is things that this reality doesn't necessarily label as projections, but things like when you get in a fight with somebody. And yes, it's the obvious ones. You get in a fight, whatever words were exchanged and stuff like that. Those kind of projections, the obvious ones. You were so mean to me, or I can't believe you did that. But it's also energetically afterwards, the times when they go away and they're thinking about you. And they're like, oh, I'm so hurt by this person. I'm so mad. I'm doing da-da-da-da-da-da. These are also just energetic projections, okay? So projections, we're not just talking about the verbal ones that you hear. We're also talking about the energetic ones that you perceive and hear in your head often. Anybody who's experienced a breakup, and I interestingly and oddly enough, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, which is interesting because I'm not in a relationship, but there you go. And I was thinking about the last time that my relationship ended. And what was interesting about that is I knew before. I knew like a week before. And anybody who's been in a breakup knows this if they're honest with themselves. So they have that time when they go, something just feels different. And you guys may be saying the same things to each other, but all of a sudden you're like, I don't think you're like me anymore, or those kind of things. Because what's interesting with the projections is it's almost like the projections changed, because so the guy that I broke up with last time, or we broke up, he would project at me, oh my gosh, you're amazing. I want to spend forever with you. Why are you not here more often? I love you and I want to be with you and blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then all of a sudden things started changing from him, looking back now. And the projections turned out to be like, maybe I shouldn't be with you anymore. I don't think we want the same kind of life. What if you can't be who I need you to be? What if you're not, and things like that. And so what's interesting is the projections started changing. And so even before we broke up, somewhere I knew, somewhere because I started feeling more uncomfortable and whatever. And that was when the projections started changing, okay? And why I say this about the projections changing is I'm not saying projections are a good thing, but I'm just saying they are more than what we've been taught, okay? And so look at this. Before I had the comfortable projections, you're lovely, I adore you, I just want to be with you all the time, you're the girl of my dreams. And then later, the uncomfortable projections of, I don't think you can be everything I need. And you know what? You don't want to move here. You don't want to be here. I just don't think this is going to work. And my life coach tells me that you can't be everything for me. Yes, folks, his life coach broke us up with a whole other story. But, which, hey, I just sent her a basket of flowers. I'm so grateful. So, sorry. It's true, folks. You look back sometimes, those breakups, you're going, thank you. They may have sucked it, but you're going, so glad, so glad. Don't get me wrong, good guy, he's married now. Somebody who fits in perfectly. All right, so, side note done. Because why I'm looking at this is like, okay, so the projections change. It's the good projections, the bad projections, and what we're defining as the good or bad. These are all projections. And they affect the body, which is why I'm talking about it on Right Body for You, okay? Because in that example of when I was dating this guy and everything was going great, he was projecting things of like, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, you're the woman of my dreams, and oh, I just love cuddling with you and all this kind of stuff. Then my body was like happy, like, woohoo, that's right, I received that energetic contribution. And then as soon as the projections changed, my body started feeling sad. Anybody else ever felt sad when the projections started changing? Yeah, okay. I started feeling sad. I started feeling lethargic. My body did. Excuse me. Tired, uneasy, just uncomfortable in your skin, kind of sick to my stomach, nervous, jittery. All of these things are going on from my body, and they are coming from these projections from this other person. Okay? So, let me go back to one of the first things I said during the show, besides my name and time and laughter and all that kind of stuff, is projections can only affect you if you allow it. Okay? So, are you an infinite being? Okay? Have you been, are you, and will you be? I don't care what religion, mode, method, or whatever you follow. We were something, we are something, and we will be something, okay? Which is funny, because when I put it that way, even atheists they go, well, yes, we'll be nothing afterwards. Say you'll still be something, you'll be nothing. They just kind of look at me and blink, walk away most of the time, but that's a lot of fun sometimes, too. Maybe that should be another story, having fun antagonizing people. Or not antagonizing, having fun, I don't know, just having fun. All right, so with the whole, you're an infinite being, okay? And, I've talked about this tool, light, heavy, a lot. So, look at this. Using the light, heavy tool. As an infinite being, truth, can anybody do anything to you without your permission? Don't figure it out. Don't try to figure it out. Don't think it through. Just yes, no, light, heavy, truth. Can anybody do anything to you, the infinite being, without your permission? No. Excuse me. Okay? No. Anybody can only do something to you when you've agreed to it. When you align and agree, when you resist and react, or you say, yes, that's the way it was. Okay? So somebody can only hurt you if you say and agree, you know what? You hurt me. Okay? Or someone can only make you a victim if you say, you victimized me. All right? Now, can people do shitty things to you? Absolutely. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is how you react to it, what you buy about it, and what you start thinking about yourself because of it. Okay? So we're going to take a quick little break, but just look at that a little bit over the break. And as an infinite being, somebody can only do something to you with your permission. People can only make you feel bad if you say, you made me feel bad. People can only victimize you if you say to them, you victimized me. Okay? So just kind of look at that a little bit over the break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about this. And then later through the show, we are going to do more. I'm going to give you tools to get out of this, because that's one of my favorite things about the show is I get to share with you tools of access consciousness, tools of right body for you that actually help you to change these things. Here's a clue, guys. Tools are great, only if you use them, okay? So, can anybody do anything to you without your permission? Ponder that over the break. We're going to take a quick little break. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we will be right back.
As a kid, I was told that all sugar is bad, and yet studies have shown that the brain functions on sugar. The more you think, the more sugar you require. Wow, what else is different than what we've believed? Hi, I'm Donnielle, and I'd like to invite you to my special 3-part teleseries, Myths About Bodies We Learned as Children, August 11th through the 13th. So much of what we are creating our bodies from are the points of view we were raised with. What if there was something different? What if we are not subject to our family's history? What if putting salt on those potatoes doesn't actually ruin us? During this unique series, we will use the tools of Access Consciousness to dispel the myths that we were trying to create our life and our bodies from. Myths about bodies we learned as children. To register, please go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. That's DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com.
Check out the new ringtones from Access Consciousness.
What is it possible? What is it possible? Smoking hot. Smoking hot.
And everyone's favorite,
Take a pass. Take a pass.
Download the latest and hottest accessory. Go to accessconsciousness.com/ringtones for all the details on how to download to your iPhone today.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am Donnielle. I am your host and your body tour guide. During the commercial break, it's really interesting, you guys. You know, I talked about the fun and joy of time during live radio and TV. Well, add to that the fun and joy of as soon as you stop talking, you hear your own voice outside of your head. Those of you who were listening heard as soon as we played our outro music, the commercial I did about the myths of TV. That's funny, given my history of TV. But the myths of bodies we learned as children teleseries that I have coming up. I just want to talk a little bit about this. I am so excited for this series. That's one of the things I talked about on Christine's show on Monday on Joy of Living with Lale. And we talked about how we get these projections and these judgments. Hello, projections. You might have heard that in the show today. These projections and judgments on us as kids. Like the one that mentioned about salt being bad or sugar being bad, or we are our family's DNA. And it's so different than that. One of the things I started doing was I used this Access tools to get rid of where I bought the Carter Fat Genes. Carter's my last name, right? Carter Fat Genes was inevitable. And so my body started to change just with that. And so I'm really excited about this teleseries. It's 3 days right in a row. Boom, boom, boom. So we're going to get our teeth into it, gnaw on it, do some tools, and then go back out into the world, different people, and bodies more full of ease and choice and possibility. So I'm really excited about that. And here's the other thing. Speaking of bodies, I know, shocking to hear me talk about bodies, but speaking of bodies, yesterday was the birth of my body. Yesterday was my birthday, and I was having a lot of fun with that. And you guys, heck, I love Facebook just for that one time of year when everybody says happy birthday, because it's so much fun, and it's such an honor for me to play with so many people. But also what I did is when I started thinking about this, about birth of bodies and the birthdays, and because, kind of celebrating the birth of your body, I made a little video about this Myths teleseries and the birthday of that. If you would sign up for this teleseries and pay within the next 48 hours, you would get a free night clearing process loop of clearings about bodies, changing it. There's a number of interesting processes that came up around the whole birthday thing. So check out the video. It's kind of fun. And if you want to sign up, go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. There's some time to sign up and get that free process loop for after the first call. So, and you can just see me being silly about my birthday. And it was a lot of fun. So check it out. So today, that was called Myths About Bodies We Learned as Children. All right. So today we're talking about duck. Here comes the projection. I just like saying that. You guys, if you look at even half of the titles of my radio shows, they're usually done with sarcasm and enthusiasm, because I have a good time. So before the break, we were talking about how projections aren't always exactly what we think they are, what we've agreed they are. It's not just the verbal things that it's also the energetic things. And and I kind of walked you through the last time I had a breakup with the gentleman and kind of how that changed and how it really affected my body. And then before break, I left you with a question: truth, as an infinite being, can anybody do anything to you without your permission? Okay. And what's interesting is, I get to facilitate these right body classes all over the world. And this thing where I say somebody can only victimize you if you say you victimize me, it tends to piss people off. And let me tell you guys, anytime something pisses you off, it's because something's going on there. It's either a lie I'm telling you, a lie you're trying to believe. But either way, there's something going on there for you, so you really want to take a look at that. If something someone says pisses you off, you want to see why. Because it's either a lie or it's a lie you're trying to buy, like believe is true, something else, okay? So, and it's interesting the stigma that comes on with this whole victim thing, because it's like, oh, victims, I'm so sorry for you, this has been done to you, and blah, 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 blah. So let me say clearly again, I'm not saying people can't do shitty things to you, because, hello, have you been out in the world? People can do shitty things. But you only become an actual victim is when you allow yourself to step into that victim role that says, I was harmed, you did this, you exerted force or power over me, and I was less. Okay? This is what I'm talking about this. Can somebody do something shitty to you and you turn around and go, that doesn't work for me, you have no power over me? Absolutely. You've seen people do this with the whole the victim mentality. You hear this, right? Okay? So this is what I want to say a little bit about the victim thing, okay? So you can only be a victim of somebody if you say you victimized me. You can only be hurt if you say you hurt me, okay? If somebody's mad at you and they want to dominate and control you, that only happens if you go, yes, you can dominate and control me, okay? So let me say again, you have the ability how to choose to react to things, okay? So when you, somebody asked in the chat room, do I have to say it? No, you don't have to say, yes, you victimized me, but energetically you have to align and agree and resist and react somewhere, okay? Most of this time, and this is why I started off talking about the energetic projections as well, because honestly, guys, how many times do you actually sit there and have a conversation and go, in your head, me, myself, and I, you, yourself, and you, sit there in your head, go, I can't believe that he victimized me, he did this to me, he was mean to me. You know what? I'm going to agree with that. Yes, he was mean to me. We tend not to do those things cognitively. It's more about an energetic knee-jerk reaction, okay? And this is why for me, this is an interesting topic to talk about all over the world. And it also ties in with the myths that I'm talking about on that teleseries, is somewhere there are so many things that somewhere we've agreed is inevitable, that cannot be changed. These so-called universal truths. What if there aren't as many universal truths as we have thought? Okay? And with the tools of Access Consciousness, what I love is Access and Right Body for You is not about changing anything that works for you. It's about adding question to everything. Okay? And so just because somebody says to you, oh, this is a universal truth, it's inevitable, it just is, ask the question, is that true? Is it the way? Or does that affect me? Is that part of me? Or is that, just start asking questions. Because I haven't actually found many things that apply to everybody, okay? So you have the ability to choose how to react to these projections, okay? So the only time, and The only time these projections can impact you is when you allow it. And oftentimes when people project these things at you, we tend to lock it into our bodies, okay? That's why I was going in the first, the first segment, going on and on about how my body felt before the breakup, right before the breakup, and then after the breakup, okay? Because even the projections of, oh my gosh, you're the most amazing, beautiful woman in the world, and I just want to be with you all the time, that was a projection that I had actually locked into my body, okay? So did my body feel better? Yes, absolutely. My body was like, you like it, you're right, thank you. You do want to cuddle with this body, I know it. Yeah, my body was feeling pretty good. But what happens is when I lock that into my body is the only choice and only possibility. And when I do the things like, yes, I am the perfect woman for you. Again, this is not a cognitive thing I was thinking. But if I buy into that point of view, okay, if I buy into that projection, I start to lock that into my body so that when it changes, it impacts my body in a massive way. So what if some of our, in the relationship, the projections afterwards, the impact is so much more fierce, not because they're quote unquote negative, but because they're so 180 of what we had projections we had locked into our body before. Okay, we can do this with friendships, we can do this with work relationships, we can do this with, we can do that with people walking down the street. The things like when you're like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing. And then somebody walks by you and like looks at you funny. And you're like, no, I look amazing. Don't you know I look amazing? And then you get all agitated. And who gets agitated? You and your body. Your body feels agitated. And they weren't necessarily looking at you because give you a sly look because you look bad or anything like that. It could just be like, oh my God, they look so much like my ex-girlfriend. I just can't stand it. Whoa! And how much of that projection has actually impacted you. And then, of course, because it resonates and it feels familiar, you and your body start reacting, okay? And so this is where the first tool. You guys have heard it before, and I'm going to say it again. Interesting point of view. I have that point of view. Interesting point of view. You have that point of view. Okay? And everywhere you guys want to go, I've heard that tool, whatever, interesting point of view. You know what I say that? Interesting point of view. You have that point of view that you've heard this tool before. Because trust me, this is actually one of the ways to get out of these projections, is to look at them and go, interesting point of view, you have that point of view about me. Interesting point of view, I have to react to that I actually have to say, or that I actually have to say anything back to you, or that I have to take it into consideration, or that it would affect my life in any way. Okay? We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this interesting point of view tool, give you a couple other tools, and I may or have a process, one of the Access Consciousness verbal processes that will work with this also, okay? So this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and we will be right back.
As a kid, I was told that all sugar is bad, and yet studies have shown that the brain functions on sugar. The more you think, the more sugar you require. Wow, what else is different than what we've believed? Hi, I'm Donnielle, and I'd like to invite you to my special 3-part teleseries, Myths About Bodies We Learned as Children, August 11th through the 13th. So much of what we are creating our bodies from are the points of view we were raised with. What if there was something different? What if we are not subject to our family's history? What if putting salt on those potatoes doesn't actually ruin us? During this unique series, we will use the tools of Access Consciousness to dispel the myths that we were trying to create our life and our bodies from. Myths about bodies we learned as children. To register, please go to DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. That's DonnieCarter.accessconsciousness.com. LLECARTER.accessconsciousness.com.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am Donnielle. I am your host. I am your body tour guide. And sorry, spontaneous laughter. If you guys could actually hear everything that goes through my head, it's interesting and kind of funny. All right, so we're talking today about projections. My back, you have the projection. Because, the reason the subject came up is I was having a conversation with a dear friend, and she was talking about, I can't even remember exactly what she was talking about. Somebody said something or did something, and I offhandedly said, well, people can only do something to you if you agree to it, so, just don't agree to it. And she goes, what? And I'm like, whoa, okay, maybe this needs to be a show, okay? Because the subject that actually came up with, or the example I gave at that time was, projections. Right now we're talking about relationships, fights, things that are really obvious and really now. What about those things that aren't really obvious and really now? So when I first started in Access, I lost a lot of weight, and I got to be known for it. And hey, that's how I got into Right Body for You and started playing with it. And so I was in Access for about 1.5 years. And I was in a body class, and this woman who comes up to me, who had struggled with losing weight, she comes up to me and she touches my face just ever so gently and says, "Oh, change, isn't that nice?" And my body just kind of shivered. It kind of went, and didn't think much about it. Went on with my day. La da 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 da. And then I started. Disclaimer: this starts to get gross. So my body actually kind of stopped changing. I remember she said, change, isn't that nice? She was talking about losing the weight and stuff. And which is something she hadn't done yet. And when I said my body stopped changing, I meant like my bowels started getting backed up. And not just like, oh, I wish I could go to the bathroom. I mean, it was like backed up, try to go, not come out, just toxic, uncomfortable. Of course, because I'm not very bright, I didn't do anything about it. I got on the plane, and then, people who've been in situations like that, you realize you even stop peeing a little bit because it gets blocked down there. And so I got on a plane, went home. I remember laying on my floor and becoming aware, on the floor of my bathroom, and realized that, oh, death is a choice, and I have a choice right now, because I was getting toxic, I was getting septic. My mom was about 5 minutes away from taking me to the hospital, and the only reason I wasn't at the hospital yet is because, well, I'm ornery and resistant sometimes. And so I remember sitting there, and I was running verbal processing of everything I'm not willing to let go of, things like that, and everything worked really well. It was working really well. I could feel the shift and change, but still I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm like, what's going on here? And so I asked questions, what the hell's going on? And what came back to me was this conversation from this woman of, oh my gosh, change is so nice. And I was just like, oh, my whole universe just kind of exploded, okay? In that, oh my gosh, interesting, that has a lot of energy onto it. So, folks, what I did was I pod-pocked anywhere, anytime I aligned and agreed, resisted, or reacted, and gave her permission to hurt me, permission to kill me, whether it's from this lifetime, another lifetime, said or unsaid, but energetically it gave away any permission that I got rid of, any permission I had given her or other people to hurt me in that way. Spells, voodoo, whatever that kind of stuff was, because it was definitely had kind of a witch feel to it thing, right? So I pod-pocked all of that, and I said, whoa, you do not have permission to hurt me now or anytime, because that doesn't work for me. No. And then I got up and went to the bathroom, and it was just fine. It was that quick, because I got rid of the places where I aligned and agreed that her projection of that could hurt me. People can only do things to you if you allow it. And this is what I'm talking about. It's not just the obvious things, but it's also the somewhere, sometime, whatever, we vowed to get each other. Okay, look at the underlying point of view. If the vow to get each other means somewhere they can get you, okay? So all of the old thoughts, and fealties, promises, commitments in any lifetime, past, future, dimensionality, you have to get and be gotten. Truth, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that all? Cool, right, wrong, good, bad, puck on high choice, boys, and beyond. Okay? And so I got up, went to the bathroom, came back out, and my mom was, you look better, because before I was gray and ashen. I was septic, I was toxic, right? And color was coming back. She's like, you look better. And I'm like, yeah, I got rid of permission where anybody could kill me, and, that kind of stuff. She's like, oh, okay, which fortunately she had done access. She knew exactly what I was talking about, okay? So this is the thing. Projections can only hurt you in your body when somewhere you have gone, yes, I accept that. You know what? Yes, you have permission to kill me. Again, it's not going to be always that in your head conversation. Yes, you can kill me. Yes, witchcraft can affect me. Yes, voodoo can affect me, okay? Before we talk about anger and whatever, but it's like, okay, let's talk about voodoo and witchcraft and black and dark energies and the things and stuff like that. What if that's just all an interesting point of view too, and it's as simply as going, no, that doesn't work on me. Okay, here's the crux of the situation, you guys. It can't be from a resistance, okay? Because if you go, no, that doesn't work on me, I am too strong, I am going to defend, I'm going to, no. You are in resistance, and that's the same thing as aligning and agreeing. You can only resist what you've aligned and agreed with. So you can only resist the things like dark energy, black magic, or voodoo, or witchcraft, or, any of that kind of stuff. You can only resist it hurting you if somewhere you've aligned and agreed that it will hurt you, okay? You can only resist what you've aligned and agreed with. So you can say the same words of, I knew this was going to happen too. I'm getting a package delivery. All right, so you can say the same words. You can say the same words, say alignment and agreement or resistance or action. What you have to do is you have to have it with the ease. You have to.
Hello, everyone. This is Christine, the producer. I think we have lost Donnielle. Maybe whoever was knocking at her door actually was desiring more of her. So we're going to go for our last break of the hour, and we will have Donnielle back shortly after that. So when you are listening to Right Body for You with Donnielle Carter, and when we return, we will have Donnielle back and continue with this Duck, Here Comes a Projection show. So stay tuned, everyone.
As a kid, I was told that all sugar is bad, and yet studies have shown that the brain functions on sugar. The more you think, the more sugar you require. Wow, what else is different than what we've believed? Hi, I'm Donnielle, and I'd like to invite you to my special 3-part teleseries, Myths About Bodies We Learned as Children, August 11th through the 13th. So much of what we are creating our bodies from are the points of view we were raised with. What if there was something different? What if we are not subject to our family's history? What if putting salt on those potatoes doesn't actually ruin us? During this unique series, we will use the tools of Access Consciousness to dispel the myths that we were trying to create our life and our bodies from. Myths about bodies we learned as children. To register, please go to donniellecarter.accessconsciousness.com. That's DONNIELLECARTER.accessconsciousness.com.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. Accessconsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video and audio downloads, online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. Accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to the program. And you know what? Welcome back to the program. I got kicked off because apparently my computer doesn't like me moving. And, it's just, we'll have to, somebody please make a note because I always tend to forget. A great show is like, did you create that future or did you perceive that future? Because I knew I had a package being delivered today that I had to sign for. And I'm like, 1 hour of the day where I can't have him come will be the 12 o'clock hour. And so, of course, that's when he did. But with my head, I had it already figured out about I could say, hey, and he needs to know my last name, right? So it's like, hey, that's me, Donnielle Carter, and telling them my last name. But the internet had other ideas, so that would be a fun show. Did you create that future, or did you perceive that future? Anyway, so can't remember exactly where we left off, but I think it was being like the resistance part of no, you cannot hurt me, okay? That doesn't work for me. When you deal with any resistance or reaction, intenseness and contraction, that's, you start to become aware of this. That's when you're doing alignment and agreement, and that's when these things won't change, is because you're actually agreeing with it also, okay? But when you do things with the ease of it, you guys, you got to start looking at this and go, no, that doesn't work for me. No, actually you don't. And it actually does become this, it's interesting that you think it would work, but no. Okay, you could even say the same words of, no, that doesn't work. You can't hurt me. You can even say it with what this reality would say, force. No, you can't hurt me. But look in your universe. There's intensity and contraction of, no, you can't do that because I'm too strong. That doesn't work for me. Or you can do it with ease, expansiveness, and the interesting point of view of, no, that doesn't work for me. You can't hurt me. Okay? Do you guys perceive a little bit of the difference there in my universe? The one, I'm contracted, I'm in resistance to, so therefore I'm agreeing with, and the other one is just interesting point of view. Okay? And during the chat room, people were talking about people doing it with their families and stuff. Oh, yes. Families are good. I had a big family dinner last night, and it was really interesting, some of the projections, or not last night, sorry, Sunday night. People were doing projections about things, and it's like, interesting point of view, interesting point of view, interesting point of view, interesting point of view. Okay? And so this is when you want to start really looking at that kind of stuff. So another one is, who does this belong to? Okay? I know you guys have heard this before. Get over it. It's a good tool. It comes up a lot. It's one of the most potent tools we have. Who does this belong to? Because what's interesting is projections not only can come up, like we said, with the fights and stuff like that we were talking about, but it can also come up in things you wouldn't expect, and at times you wouldn't expect. And I admit it, being in total vulnerability, I was doing it throughout this entire show. And what I'm doing a projection, and what I'm talking about is during the breaks, you guys heard my Miss telecall about the promotion for it, right? And so at the end, when I recorded it, and now every time it played, at the end I said DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com for more information. And then in my head, I'm going, I need to get my Donnielle.com website up better so I can say that instead. And so I even said it in chat room. I went, website, I need to get that changed. I am projecting onto that things for people to pick up, okay? So who does it belong to? So I guarantee, even if I wasn't around when people were hearing that commercial, they would think, wow, that's a long name for a website or something like that. Or the projection of, I didn't hear that because what am I projecting? They're not going to hear it because it's so long. So even when you guys are marketing guys, you got to look at it as the energy you're putting onto things as your marketing, okay? So during the commercial break, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm projecting onto everybody ever listening to that commercial my point of view that website's too long and then I need to get my website fixed. Oh, okay. Pod talk, everything that is, destroy and create it. And that's why when things come into your head like, oh my gosh, that website is so long. Well, who does that belong to? Or projections of other, mass media commercials and stuff of like commercial of buy this perfume and you'll be amazing. Who does that belong to? Okay. Media is a lot about the projections also. Okay. So look at that. And one of the things, so here's another, so much I want to say, and I know I'm running out of time, right? It always happens. Maybe I need to harass you, Christine, and do 2 hours. So one of the other tools I'd really like to look at giving you is the mantra of Access Consciousness, okay? The mantra of Access Consciousness is, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, okay? This is actually a great tool to help get rid of projections, get out of projections. Yes, who's interesting point of view and who it belongs to, but also the mantra, okay? And the mantra is not a affirmation. Affirmations, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. But what the mantra of Access is, if you look at mantra, it's a statement or a prayer, okay? And so if you say it 10 times in the morning, you guys have heard this, 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. If you say it 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night, all of life comes with ease, joy, and glory, your life would just change from that. And it's not that only good things will happen. That's not what we're saying. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, which means you can have ease in these choices. You can have ease in these reactions, okay? So if somebody projects something at you, all of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory. I'm not even going to give that the time of day. Why would I spend 10 seconds on even trying to defend myself to you, because that just doesn't, no, good day. You know, interesting point of view, who does this belong to? And all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. So, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night. We're not saying only good things will happen, but you do have choice in how you react to them. We're not saying only people will only think good things at you, but you have choice how you react if you react. Okay? And here's the process. I know we're have minutes left. So what stupidity are you using to create what they think of you as more important than what you know of you? Okay? Everything that is destroyed and ungraded, right, wrong, good, bad, talk online, shorts, boys, and beyond. What stupidity you're using to create what they think of you as more important than what you know of you. Everything that is destroyed and uncreated. Right, wrong, good, bad, talk on ice, shorts, boys, and beyond. Okay, so projections only affect you and your body if you align and agree with this and react and go, yes, you can do that to me. You know what? Yes, you can make me feel like shit today. Thank you. I was just looking for somebody to make me feel like shit, and you're it. Thanks for stepping up. What if it doesn't have to be that way, okay? Interesting point of view, you have that point of view. Interesting point of view, I have that point of view. Who does this belong to? And the mantra of access. All of life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory, okay? So, please check it out. If you have any questions, you can email me at Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com, DONNIELLE at accessconsciousness.com. You can sign up for the teleseries and to get that process loop for the next day at DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. And so DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com. And do go ahead and check out Donnielle.com. I have some old shows on there when I was doing my last radio show called Access the Magic with my mother, and that's a lot of fun also to check those out. And you guys, please, if you have any suggestions, if you have anything that you and your body would like me and my body to talk about, please let me know. Send me an email. Post it on the Facebook group, Right Body for You radio show. We're always looking for input of what questions you have or would like clarity or ease with, because I hear a rumor that all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. Yes, folks, I said it again. So please check it out. Check out the Myths teleseries. Like I said, as my birthday gift to your body, you can, if you register and pay, you can get that free clarity loop that you can listen to it at night. So it's a nice little easy one that hopefully will help you and your body create that ease. Okay, so please check that out. And I'm doing a Right Body for You workshop in Houston in September. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to have a party. It's the energy around that class is really interesting. I think we're going to have a great time. So check it out. I love my workshops. I have a good time in them, and I know, and people tell me they have a good time. So yeah, so please come play with us. And you know what? Thanks for joining us. Make it a happy week. Make it a fun week. Enjoy your body. You know what? Because it's enjoying you. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.